Hey everyone, welcome to the Ring Fit Adventure Kickstart 2.0. I hope you're as excited today as I am and that you're feeling really good. As you may know, I'm Master Trainer Peter. I'm going to be hosting this 31-day program and we're going to be going through a load of great exercises, some awesome workouts, no matter what program you're following. And that brings me very neatly into our first question of the day, which is, do you know what fitness program you're going to be following through the Kickstart? We've got weight loss, muscle build and tone, and beginners. So if you have, let me know in the comments today. If you haven't, don't worry about it, you've still got a day to finalise that decision. That's because today we are going to be establishing a baseline with some tests in Ring Fit Adventure, and there are going to be some optional ones to do outside of Ring Fit as well if you're feeling up to it. You might be asking yourself, why do we test? And, well, I kind of mentioned it earlier, we establish a baseline. So we want to see how we're doing at the start of the program, and then once we've done the program in full, we want to retest everything in the same conditions and see how good we are and see how much we have improved, because that shows whether a program is working or not. As you can imagine, that is an essential part of any training program, and the Ring Fit Kickstart 2.0 is no exception. So we are going to be doing a variety of tests to target specific functions and parts of the body. Now, the first one is going to be a general test outside of Ring Fit. Then we're going to be doing a bunch of tests inside Ring Fit, and then we are going to do one more test outside Ring Fit as well, and then you've got your optional ones. Okay, that sounds good. If you're not able to perform all of the tests, it's absolutely fine. Just do your best, do the ones that you can, and make sure that you re-measure against them on day 31. Okay? So first off, and this is especially important if you're doing the weight loss program in the Kickstart, is you need to weigh yourself. So personally, I like to do this by, wake up first thing in the morning, go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, weigh myself right there and then. So this means that I've not taken anything into my body or, had any water or anything like that. But the important thing of this is when it comes to day 31, you need to replicate pretty much the same scenario that you did the test on the first day. Because if you don't do the same scenario, then it can create some fluctuations, and we want it as accurate as possible. So basically, weigh yourself. Once you've done that, have yourself a little aerobic warm-up, some arm circles, some high knees, get your heart rate up a little bit, jump into Ring Fit Adventure, and then we're going to go to the quick play section. So getting there from the main menu, hit quick play, and then simple. We're going to be doing these challenges in this order: Spinal Erectors Challenge, Mighty Pectoralis Challenge, Quadriceps Challenge, Endless Latissimus Dorsi, and Endless Deltoids. Always start in a good position, neutral spine with good shoulder posture, i.e. slightly drawn back, and try to focus on the movement as best as possible, isolating other muscles where you can. Take up to 2 minutes between each challenge as rest time. So now that you've done that, which is arguably the hardest part of the test, you need to jump into the mini games, again through quick play, and we're going to be selecting 3 mini games. Now, you can do these on normal or advanced, whatever you want, but just make sure you do the same one when it comes to day 31. Okay? So, what we're going to be doing is these ones. We're going to be doing Crate Crasher, Squat Goals, and Treadmill because they have certain movements that are good to test for endurance. Crate Crasher uses your pectoralis major a lot, Squat Goals has a good amount of lower body endurance necessary, and Treadmill is a great cardio endurance session in general. Awesome. So once they're done, jump off of the game and we're going to do the flexibility test that I want everyone to do if possible, and that is a standing toe touch. So for this, from standing with straight knees, we want to flex at the hips and try and touch our toes with our palms nice and flat. Reach down as far as you can. If you can't touch your toes, try and measure where down on your ankles that you get to, and then we're going to see if that range of movement increases over the Kickstart. Okay, so those are the mandatory tests that I would like everyone to do, because those are covering all the facets that we want to see in the Kickstart. Now, if you are doing the optional tests, this part's for you. If not, you can skip forward, it's up to you. But yeah, here's what we're going to be doing. These are for people with a decent fitness level, and I'd love to see how the results of the Kickstart affect these. Test 1, run for 10 minutes straight, recording your distance. It doesn't matter if you take breaks, you walk, etc. Just make sure that you don't stop that 10-minute stopwatch and only go to the 10 minutes recording that distance. Test 2, 60 seconds of push-ups. With good form, see how many push-ups you can do within 60 seconds. Knees or toes, whatever your preferred form is. Good form throughout. If you find your hips sagging or your shoulders not moving well or other form issues and it happens for more than 2 reps in a row, stop. That is you done. You need to finish there and record how long you went for. Otherwise, record the amount of push-ups that you did. Test 3, 60 seconds of squats. With good form, see how many squats you can safely perform within 60 seconds. Again, same as the push-ups, if you find your form falters for more than 2 reps in a row, stop. That's you done, record how long you went for, otherwise record the amount of reps you did. Test 4 is a waist measurement test. Take a tape measure and relax the body, don't suck everything in. Find the midpoint between the bottom of the ribs and the top of the hips, typically around or just above the belly button. Wrap the tape around so it's tight but not digging into the skin. Breathe out and then take the measurement. This will give an extra measure that can help assess if we've lost fat during the kickstart, thanks to the British Heart Foundation for these images. Under normal circumstances, I'd record myself doing the tests, but I have got an injury at the moment and I don't want to exacerbate anything, so I'm not doing that. Anyway, the point is, those are the tests, and with those optional ones, again, make sure that you record them and make sure you redo them on day 31. But yeah, that is all of the testing we're going to do. It's a lot more in-depth and a bit more thorough than last year's, but it will be really interesting to see how many different facets of fitness that we can actually record using Ring Fit and see where the improvements come. For the rest of your day today, I want you to relax, just rest up, because we've got a big, chunky, full body session for everyone tomorrow, which is going to be awesome. I'm really excited for it. And we're nearing the end of the video now, but first we've got to do the fit fact of the day, and I'm actually going to do one a little bit about terminology. So terminology, essentially, I'm going to be saying certain words throughout the Kickstart when I'm describing the programs and when I'm describing the movements, and I just want to make sure that you know what the hell I'm talking about, essentially, okay? So, first off, I'm going to go for isometric. Isometric is essentially holding something in position. So let's take in Ring Fit, for example, the overhead squat. This is a perfect example. We are holding the ring over our head, okay? So when we're holding the ring over our head, we're not moving our shoulders. The shoulders are holding everything in place for the upper body. That is an isometric movement because it is under tension, but it's just not moving, okay? So that's what I'm going to mean by isometric. And the other two I want to mention today is flexion and extension. So flexion is essentially decreasing the angle between two body parts, and extension is increasing the angle between two body parts. So a really good example of this is when we're doing a squat. Okay, so let's say this is the upper body, this is the lower body. So we've got the front of the abs here and we've got the front of the thighs here. So hip flexion when we go into a squat brings the thighs here. So we have decreased the angle between the front of the thigh and the front of the abs, right? So that is hip flexion, and then when we are going back up, it's hip extension because we've increased that angle. It's a larger angle now, right? And then that also happens, like for example in lunges, the rear leg, the hip goes into extension because the front of the thigh is slightly further away from the abs. So that's a good example there. You've also got like on your arm, that's a really good example as well. So let's say, bringing the wrist towards the shoulder, flexion, and then bringing it away, extension, because you're angled there, right? Make sense? Cool. So I'm going to be mentioning those a lot, and I just wanted to make sure that everyone's on board with what I'm talking about. So that's everything for today, which is pretty cool. So make sure you have a great rest of your day. I hope you're feeling good and not too hungover after your New Year's. It's obviously a little bit of a worry. I didn't think about that when I was writing this. Anyway, doesn't matter. Obviously, record those results. Make sure you keep them safe for day 31. Post them in the comments if you need to. Like, share and subscribe. Hit the notification button so you make sure that you get each of these at 6 a.m. AEDT, which is Australian time, basically. It's going to Sydney time. And yeah, fantastic. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you for your time. I'll be posting all of these on Twitter, Discord, Reddit, Facebook, Instagram, Patreon, all of the platforms I use. So yeah, thanks so much for your time, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you to all my patrons, and a special shout out to Rain for supporting me through Patreon.